She had another session this morning. She's actively looking forward to them now, which is really good. It's lovely, honestly, just to have seen her development in the past sort of 3-4 months has been staggering. And you think to yourself, I just wish I'd done it earlier.
So first of all, could you just give me a quick introduction, so your name and where you're from?
Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm from Kent. My daughter is 8 years old and she's just started year 4. We've been working with Claire for the past few months and we've had 3 30-minute sessions every week.
Could you tell me a bit about where your daughter was in terms of her grades, her academic skills, emotional state, behaviours, your concerns before you started working with us?
Mm-hmm. So prior to working with Claire, my daughter really struggled with reading fluently. She had found phonics very difficult to grasp in the early years. And if she didn't know a word, she would stumble, get despondent, and effectively want to give up. Reading was really becoming a nightly battle, effectively. It was something that we would want to avoid because while she enjoyed being read to, she didn't enjoy reading to me. She didn't enjoy reading independently. And I think she was masking the fact that she couldn't really read. It was a struggle for her because she was coming along beautifully well in school with maths, with a whole range of other subjects. And she felt like she was very much failing at reading. And we struggled to find books that were interesting for her to read, but were at her ability level. And reading was becoming a chore rather than a pleasure.
And what, in terms of you as parents, how were you feeling? Did you feel sort of you knew what to do or you didn't know how to approach a situation?
We had no idea what to do. In all honesty, we aren't reading experts. We're not teachers by background. All we could do was follow the school's advice, which was keep at it. She'll get there. Don't worry about it too much in years 1, year 2. It will click. And by the time she got to year 3, it hadn't clicked. And she was falling behind. She was getting very despondent. It got to the point where we thought we've got to seek some expert advice on this because she's struggling and it's really affecting her confidence.
Okay. And what made you reach out to me? Well, I think I reached out to you, but what made you sort of come on board or find out more?
So I found Hannah on Instagram completely randomly. I was trying to do some research around tutors, specifically those focused on reading, as that was our real challenge. It had come to the point where school couldn't help to the extent that we needed. She wasn't at the skill set where she would have intervention at school, but equally, she wasn't doing as well as I know she could. And she was getting despondent with it, losing her confidence. And so we knew that we needed to invest in a solution. She was months away from year 4 by this stage. She was almost 8 years old and she was masking her inability to read more challenging texts. And we just thought something's got to change here. When I found Hannah's content on Instagram, it really resonated with me. I booked an introductory call and we talked about the guilt that I was experiencing about having sort of left it for what I considered to be quite a long time. The fact that we had battled on at home and realistically, it just wasn't working what we were doing. I really felt that Hannah understood my concerns and was able to offer some sort of meaningful solutions as opposed to the usual, it will come, go back to basics, that sort of thing, which weren't working for us.
And had you looked into any other sort of reading programs or any other tuition that looked like it could help?
We hadn't really looked into any other reading programs. I've seen that there were various online courses, but they didn't seem to be expert driven. It was always an overarching English tuition or an overarching writing tuition. It was never particularly focused just on reading. And that's where our challenge lies. So I thought if we're going to do it, we've got to get the actual expert advice.
I think quite often when parents start talking to me, they feel quite alone. And there's lots of parents out there that are in exactly the same position as you guys were. They are interested, but they have hesitation. So was there anything that almost stopped you signing up and getting your daughter help with us?
It's always a concern because it's an investment. You're paying for expertise and you want to know that you're getting the right support from the right people and making the best decision for your child. And when we had the discovery call, we talked about what she would need was not a once a week 30-minute lesson. We needed to really focus on this. We needed to book her in for 30-minute sessions every week to really get these skills down so that we would actually see some results within 2 or 3 months. It was difficult to grapple with the fact that we would have to make that investment. It's not just a financial investment, it's a time investment as well, particularly when your child is coming out of school, she's tired, she's exhausted from school, she's got other clubs, we're trying to fit it in around work. We have to make that investment and we have to make that cost investment as well. When you're paying for expertise, it comes at a cost. Had it been cheaper, you would question the quality and the benefit. Not being tied in meant that we could have that trial period. We had a week-long trial period to see how we got on. We had 3 30-minute sessions within that week. My daughter absolutely loved it and looked forward to the sessions with Claire. From that point on, we knew that we were going to do this.
Great. And do you think the trial is what ultimately made you sign up and say yes and move forward with it?
Absolutely. I think if the trial hadn't gone well, then we would have cut our losses and said, okay, it's not working for us. We might have needed something in person. It was a slight concern at the start that this wasn't going to be in person. I wondered whether it would be as effective as an in-person tutor. But actually, the short, sharp sessions, 3 times a week, and the fact that Claire was just amazing with my daughter. You know, she got her interests, she got her skills. She knew what sort of books she would enjoy reading, and it was a really good experience.
Okay, good. And you're happy with the online approach?
We are now. We had hesitations at first, but once we'd seen some results and we found that my daughter was enjoying the sessions and actually getting so much from them, we didn't have any concerns thereafter.
Good. Okay. And what have been your biggest takeaway moments so far? Was there anything that you thought, aha, that really works or that clicked?
I think the kind of techniques that are used are not something that I would have thought about doing. So there's lots of games played, there's lots of phonics games, there's rolling the dice and seeing where you get to on this sort of Monopoly type board game. It's things like this that I don't have the resources to do. And I don't have the skill set to be able to teach my daughter how to do these things. But it's almost learning through play. And she is focusing so much better with these techniques that Claire is teaching her. She's coming away feeling like she can do it now and that she's achieving. And it's through these different learning techniques that we're seeing real progress. Prior to that, we were sitting down with a book with her and just trying to battle through the chapter every night. It just wasn't working.
Great. Yeah. And so many parents are doing exactly the same thing. What noticeable changes have you seen in your daughter so far since starting? Because you've not actually finished the 12 weeks yet, have you? I think you've still got a few weeks left. So
yeah.
What have you noticed so far?
I mean, we saw results within about 3 or 4 weeks. I found, first of all, her confidence grew. She was able to look at words and read them and use the techniques that Claire had given her to read much more challenging text, much more complex words. She was picking up chapter books and reading them by herself with some fluency. The fact is she no longer avoids reading, which is just wonderful to see. I absolutely adore reading myself, and to instill that confidence and ability in my daughter is just wonderful. And it genuinely feels like she has her confidence back. We haven't finished the 12-week period yet, but she's wanting to do these lessons and she's picking up books and wanting to read. It's a huge relief and a weight off our shoulders that she is going into year 4 with the skills to read the books she wants to read and have the confidence to pick those books up and actually read them.
Brilliant. Yeah. And confidence is just so important. It's like such a vicious cycle with reading. And have you noticed anything quite tangible? Have the school said her results have improved or she's much more fluent in class or confident in class, anything like that?
She is, yes. We've started back at school this week after the summer holidays. She's already had a reading test and her reading ability has come on several months over the past 3-month period. And when I found those results out, I was staggered She's now doing comprehension work and getting full marks. She got an award at school on Friday, the last day of her first week in year 4, because she'd got all of the comprehension questions right.
Amazing.
It's absolutely phenomenal. And she wouldn't have got that at the end of year 3. And to think that's only 3 months previously. So to go up in assembly and get that award and know that she can do this, and if she equips herself with the skills that Claire has taught her, she can sit down, focus, knows what she's doing, and she's enjoying it because it's given her the confidence to do it.
Amazing. And what sort of internal mind shift have you experienced as a parent so far since you started working with us?
I think we are much more on board about the online tutoring. It does work. It's not something that we've done before, but I think when you get the right tutor and they work with your child well, then it's just a brilliant experience. The fact that Hannah is giving a bespoke pathway to get to where we need our daughter to be. For example, I knew that we needed an intensive course. Hannah recommended that from the outset, and it wouldn't have worked for us to do 1 session a week for 12 weeks. We needed that intensive course to really hone those skills. Going forward, it may be that we can drop down to 2 times a week, eventually being one of the book clubs that Hannah runs. But I think at the outset, we needed to equip our daughter with these skills to get her the progress and the confidence that she needed. I think my mindset shift has been tailored support to your child.
And I think that's sometimes shocks a lot of parents when they speak to me. Like, they expect there to be a group they can join, but I wouldn't sort of offer something to somebody that I don't think it's going to be effective, because obviously that affects our reputation as well. We're not going to get results for the child. How would you describe your daughter's overall experience so far?
We're really pleased with the tuition and hope to continue it for as long as she needs it. I think it took us too long to take the leap, realistically. And I felt guilt about that at the start, but I'm so glad that I did. I wish I'd done it a year ago. I'm so glad that we made the decision, made the investment into the intensive course, because we've seen real results. It's changed our daughter's outlook on reading, her ability, her fluency, and it's been an incredibly worthwhile experience.
Amazing. That's given me goosebumps, actually. It's so nice to hear that we're making that difference.
I mean, it really is. She really is. It's been brilliant.
If someone was thinking about working with us, because obviously your daughter's not been having direct tuition with me, so what would you say to them if they were thinking about working with us?
Just take the leap. I'd really encourage you to have a trial, see how your child gets on. We had a week-long trial where we did 3 sessions a week, and we went from there. I was surprised how quickly I saw improvements, both in her ability and also, really importantly, in her confidence. And that alone was worth the investment.
Amazing. Thank you. And is there anything else that you would like to share that we've not covered that you think would be important for people to hear?
I think don't get put off by the cost investment, particularly if Hannah suggests an intensive course. It's a lot of money, but you're getting expert advice. And if you were to go with perhaps 1 lesson a week or 2 lessons a week, you're not going to get the skills that your child needs urgently. I think that intensive course has really put us in great stead for continuing this. It's really equipped our daughter with the skills that she needed. I'm not sure we would have got there had we had 1 session a week.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I really hope that parents will listen to this, watch this, and it will give them the encouragement they need and take that step. And also, you definitely would have answered some of their worries in there about online cost, time investment, because although obviously cost is a factor, there's also time that's a factor as well. And like you say, you're both working, you've got other children, they've got commitments. But yeah, at some point you have to sort of prioritize and think,
absolutely,
do something about this.
Great.
Thank you. That was really amazing.
Well, I hope you can use some of it.
I definitely will. And I'm just really pleased it's gone so well for Lily.
It really has, honestly. The improvement that we've seen in her has been phenomenal. Like I was saying, I think it's down to the fact that it was 3 sessions a week, that intensive course. When you first said that to me, I thought, oh my goodness, that's an awful lot of time and money every week.
I remember the sales. I remember you looking at me like
and
I was mad.
because of course you don't know what you're getting. Before you start, it is a leap of faith. But actually, even after that first week, we thought, okay, we found the right tutor now. Let's just go for it.
So many parents are coming to me and saying, like, oh, we've gone to school, and they're just getting really bad advice. And I think it just comes down to the fact that teachers get trained in how to teach reading, but they don't get trained in how to teach struggling readers. I was teaching for years, really, before I learned how to support struggling readers, and they just don't get training. So then parents are probing them for it, and they tell parents things to sort of not necessarily fob them off, but they don't know what to say. So I've had people being told phonics won't work for your child, which is crazy. Just keep reading. That's the standard one. Keep reading. But
and whilst that might work when they're 4 or 5, by the time they get to 7, if they haven't locked those skills down, then something's got to give. You've got to shift your mindset and how you're teaching them. I fully understand that the school can't necessarily do that. They're in a class full of 30 students. Whilst you may know that your child is struggling, they're not struggling to the extent where they're being taken out of class and given extra support or extra tuition. Realistically, it's down to the parents. And I never learnt phonics. I don't know how to break words up and learn it in that way. So I'm not equipped to teach her.
Exactly that. And it's also having the time, isn't it? As a relationship with your child is different to that of a teacher and a child.
And you don't want to have battles with them. You want your evenings with your child to be a nice, pleasant environment and a relaxed environment. You don't want to be battling through worksheets and books that you're just not getting anywhere with.
Okay, I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of your weekend, Sarah.
Okay.
And so much.